So this is part one lesson on chord theory applied to the piano. So this is a lesson that's going to help you get familiar with how to construct chords on the piano. If you have some basic understanding of what chords you want to play, we'll look at a simple song, how to figure out what the chords need to be in order for you to play that song, right? So just kind of a quick little example. So first thing we'll talk about, we're going to build all of our chords off of C major scale, which uses the same pattern that all other major scales use, which is whole step, half, whole, and half to give us the C major scale. If we apply that same pattern to another note, E flat for example, we go whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. We've got the E flat major scale, just because we started on E flat. Okay, so that's pretty helpful. That's kind of our foundation. So in scale theory, a lot of the times use this Roman numeral system to basically tell us which relationship a note has to the tonic. And the tonic is what we call our tonal center, and that's where the song wants to pull back to. It usually will be the last chord that kind of concludes everything and gives the song a lot of resolution. So in that way, we use these scale degrees to tell us what relationship this note has. And the notes give us different colors and that sort of thing depending on how we change them. So when we want to make a major chord, we go look at the recipe or the rules for a major chord, which is to take the first note, the third note, and the fifth note of that scale. And we're just going to do all these on C so you can see how it's constructed. So in C major, you have the first, third, and fifth notes. And that gives me my major chord. And that works all the way up the piano. Right? So, and I play that right here. And honestly, I don't need to play those notes in that order. We talk about this is called a root position triad, because this C major, and we're using C as the lowest note in it. This is a root position triad. But if I could play those notes in any combination, I'm still playing a C. So I'll put the E here, and the C here, and the G here. I'm still playing a C major chord. It's an inversion of a C major chord. And so there's a couple of different ways I can move that C major around. Okay? So the next chord we want to talk about is a minor chord. And minor chord is just moves the third note. So we use the same 1, 3, and 5, but we take the third note and we flatten it. So in this case, it's going to be E flat. Okay. Okay. And then if I want to make a diminished chord, you can use this right here. You flatten also the fifth. So I take the first, third, and the fifth, and I flatten the fifth. All right, and I get that really dissonant sound. And that's how I create a diminished chord. So if I were to, look at a song that had, the chords of something like, C, G, A minor, F, for example, and I want to do that in the key of C, right? So I have a C. My next chord that I want is a G. Okay, and it just happens that it's in the same shape. But that might change depending if we move out of the key of C. It's just helpful that this works out in the key of C, and these are like this. And A minor if I start on A, and then an F if I start on F. So I can play this whole thing. I can play it, let's let it be. Lots of things.